Welcome to the Caddo Convos, the podcast that explores the vibrant community of businesses thriving in Caddo Office Reimagined. We're here to shine a light on the incredible entrepreneurs and professionals who make the most of our private offices, co-working spaces, and day office rentals in the Dallas-Fort Worth suburbs. Join us as we share their stories, celebrate their successes, and dive into the benefits of working in a space that's close to home but offers so much more than working from home. Let's get started with today's conversation. Joining me today on the Caddo Convos is Uche Ajalla of NerdsToGo McKinney. Uche, thanks for being in the studio today.
Thanks, buddy. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. So let's jump right in. What I like to say is let's answer the elevator pitch question, which is what services do you offer and what's the value proposition for customers working with you at NerdsToGo McKinney?
Well, with NerdsToGo McKinney, we provide small, medium-sized businesses with data backup and cybersecurity and IT support. So we're kind of their boots on the ground. If they're not wanting to have a full service IT team, we, for a small monthly fee, are able to take care of some things there for them. And then we also, for our residential customers, provide something called on-demand services, which is, hey, your laptop's not working properly. You got a virus that you need cleaned out. You've damaged your hard drive and you're trying to get data back. That's what we do to help our residential customers as well. So.
Excellent. So we're talking, you have a physical location in
Yes.
McKinney. They can come to get service, but also house calls.
You are correct. We were actually in the Caddo office building in McKinney off El Dorado Parkway. We had an old retail space that was right off El Dorado and Ridge Road, but we're literally right behind it. So that's kind of funny. Sometimes people have issues finding it, but we also do, for a small fee, we will come out to you to help with your services of installing things like from printers to even helping with Wi-Fi issues you're getting with some of your smart devices. So.
What are common calls? What are you getting lately? Technology changes constantly, so you have to stay ahead of whatever is happening.
One of the biggest things we're seeing and will continue to see until about October, November is the Windows 11 update. A lot of computers and devices will not be able to get Windows 11, so they need to come up with that solution now. That's something we see every day where someone's like, hey, my computer's crashing. I tried to, Windows 11 won't take, and we look at their device and it's a little too old, and it's just either needing to upgrade device or go ahead and update Windows 11 now so that you're not forced off of it whenever October comes.
And I imagine you can make recommendations of device upgrades.
Yes, we typically do have different, we don't try to push any devices on anybody, but we do have our recommended products that we have that suits people's needs depending on if they're just someone who just wants a simple laptop or is a gaming computer or also just needing to do stuff for business.
How do you service, and let's talk about a typical business that you can benefit.
Okay, a typical business we can benefit is probably your business that's between 4 to 20 people that may not have a dedicated IT person. You may be dealing with issues of trying to manage the Microsoft Office suite, dealing with workstation backups, data backups. That's what we try to offer a lot of these small businesses. We have a few clients in different realms, whether it's a pediatrician's office, a construction company, an insurance company as well, where we come in and we do all of the IT support for them. We've also, if a company is a project of, hey, we need to hire 8 new people and need 8 computers, we'll set it up for them and get it all backed up so they have everything they need in case the servers are down or they lose any data.
And for business owners, I imagine you have kind of a monthly service retainers or something just to keep them on top of, solving their problems as they arise.
Yes. We do, for a small monthly fee, we're able to manage all their IT for them, which sometimes we'll have in the pricing include a couple monthly visits. So that way one of our techs will be on site to just make sure there's any issues that happen. Like, let's say it's not an emergency. That could wait till Tuesday. If we already have it scheduled in a couple times a month, they could just say, well, this is running slow, but I know my technician from NerdsToGo McKinney is going to be here next week, so I'll write it down and have them take a look at it.
Right. That makes perfect sense. So I know you've worked with a lot of customers. Give me a couple examples of maybe a medium business and then an individual.
Okay. For the example regards to a business, we recently had a veterinary clinic reach out to us because their server started to run very slow due to their software that they were using on there. We did an analysis and did a diagnostic on site there with one of our technicians to make sure that we saw why they're running slow and came up with a plan to say, hey, we need to take off this software and put it on an external hard drive. We had to shut down the server for an hour in order to just get everything off of there correctly. So we just did it during their lunch period so they weren't affected highly.
Smart.
And then once we were done, they were able to get back most of the speed from their server and the extra space now that that software was on an external drive.
Yeah. It was basically a plague on the system.
Yeah.
When
it was
when it's not installed correctly.
Yeah. So it definitely slowed them down, and it was halting stuff that they were wanting to do for their different customers wanting to bring their pets in and everything.
Excellent. And individual services.
For individual services, a typical issue we'll run into is someone will have a new computer that they're configuring, and let's say they get a new router from AT&T or Spectrum. They may have not synced it properly with that. So we'll have technicians go out there and take a look to just make sure that everything's syncing correctly to the new Wi-Fi router and connecting. And sometimes we'll have printer issues as well too. So we'll set up printers to just make sure that they're running okay with the Wi-Fi as well.
Right. So you give them peace of mind that everything's functioning properly, because it's almost like being a new car owner.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know.
Yes.
And so at some point it's going to break. If
Yeah.
you don't have someone, a specialist, taking a look at it. The best time is probably when you get the computer,
Yes.
or you're installing some new
hard drive
device.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because
that
we
makes
get a
sense.
lot of that too, where someone will, on the residential side, someone will buy a new computer and say like, hey, I want to add an extra hard drive to it. Could you guys install it for me? Or they could be like, hey, this battery's not performing how I'd like. Could you guys install it for me so I know that it's running properly?
Yeah, that makes sense. Why did your business choose the Caddo location in McKinney?
We decided to go from a little history there. NerdsToGo used to be kind of like a geek squad where they had big retail spaces that they needed a lot of foot traffic to come by to get business for that. As NerdsToGo has grown and expanded nationwide, we've kind of shifted more on to managing some of the costs of that by being in an office space. And the Caddo office space kind of allowed us that flexibility to just kind of go the month to month and see how we grow, to see like, hey, if we need to add another office to where we're at, we could have 2 different office suites inside the building. And we know that it's still cheaper than having a retail space where we're needing to have a storefront.
Yeah, that's terrific. This podcast is being recorded here at the Maple Shade location in Plano, and I agree with you. The amenities are great, and you can expand or contract. If you have multiple offices and need just to scale down or move, you have options there.
And that was one of the main reasons we picked that. We're like, hey, it's not far from where our old location was, and also we could expand, and it's not like you're tied in for 7 years and you're like, well, what do I do when I get to this size, or I don't need this much space.
What's your favorite part about what you do?
My favorite part about what I do is, I guess, being hands-on and helping out the customers. Like, I'm really glad to hear when a customer comes in and they're like, thank you so much for solving this issue for me. Like, I did not know why my computer was running this slow, or I didn't know that I needed to do this software update, or even giving them recommendations on what computer they need next. Just hearing, like, just kind of giving them that education is what I really enjoy about it.
Well, and a question I always like to ask entrepreneurs like yourself is, how did you get into NerdsToGo? Where in your career, at some point you bought a franchise and whatnot. What brought you here?
Yeah, what kind of brought me here was I had always known after I graduated college that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Yeah. It was kind of just trying to figure out which path to go. Because originally I have a background in accounting and finance, so like I understand the numbers, which is very helpful. But even in my career in the corporate world, I kind of felt like a few years ago, I kind of hit a wall of where I'm like, I'm not learning anymore like I want to. So unfortunately, last summer, I got laid off at the bank I was working at. And I kind of felt it was a sign that it was like, hey, now it's time to open your own business. You had been looking at franchises. Let's explore different verticals that you could look into. And the IT space interests me because the last few years I've been working doing ERP implementations and business intelligence implementations for the companies I've been working at. So when I looked into IT space and saw NerdsToGo, I liked the model of what they had. Also, I liked that there were 2 different revenue streams from helping small businesses and also doing residential. And also they're at the corporate level, their corporate team was top notch and kind of giving me the support I need. And like, everything that they kind of helped me with along the way and deciding to go with them was what made me feel like, okay, if I ever run into any issues, I literally hear back that day, as opposed to some other IT MSP companies I looked at. I'd be asking them through the recruitment process questions, and they either wouldn't get back to me for a week or they'd cancel meetings. So I kind of was like, well, if I'm going to be a franchise owner, I kind of want to make sure that I'm getting support and not just being ducked and dodged all the time.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily improve from the beginning. It sometimes gets worse. So
yeah,
if it's already a low bar, maybe shy away. So,
yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's great. So if someone needs your services, what's the best way to contact you?
I'd say the best way to contact us is calling our store number or submitting a web form ticket online. Those are the best ways to get to me or my technicians to solve the issues you're having and get you in. We are open with walk-ins now that we're in a bigger space. So you could either walk in and we'll take a look at it, or if you need a sit-down appointment, you could call us and we'll make sure to get you on the books for the day to walk you through your issue.
Excellent. And I tell everybody, look in the show notes, just scroll down, or wherever platform you are, the information he's given me is right there for you. So click on the link or call the phone number that's present and start a conversation. Yeah. So thank you for coming in today. Really enjoyed having you on the Caddo Convos.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. I really appreciate you having me in.
Thank you for joining us today on the Caddo Convos podcast. A huge shout out to our incredible network of members for making our community vibrant and supportive. If you're looking to boost your productivity and reduce the isolation of working from home, consider joining us at Caddo Office Reimagine. Our spaces are designed to meet your evolving needs, support remote work, and foster a sense of community that's hard to find at home. Whether you're a startup aiming for growth, a freelancer seeking a professional setting, or a company looking to optimize resources, Caddo offers a perfect blend of flexibility and innovation. By joining us, you'll be a part of a dynamic business ecosystem that helps you thrive. For more information, visit caddooffices.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Caddo Convos.